Okay, I am back as promised to tell you the third and final friend story. First of all, someone told me they couldn't watch my videos because it was hard to follow because I kept saying, like, whatever. So I think that's just how I talk. So if that bothers you, I apologize. I don't really know what to do about that. So bear with me if you will. But so anyways, okay, this is going to be part 1 of K. And here we go. So I met Kay through massage. Kay is a massage therapist, and I met her through the place she used to work at, and she gave me a massage. We talked while she was giving me a massage and discovered that we were from the same hometown and whatever. She was very sweet. Kay was very sweet. She was very nurturing and loving and like just very calming. And I grew up kind of chaotically, and so that was very appealing to me. It was something I felt like my soul needed. Okay. So we bonded pretty quickly. I continued to go to her for a massage because she's very good at massage. And then we developed like a friendship over time, and we started hanging out like outside of massage. We started texting each other and hanging out and whatever, going to lunch together and what have you. Okay. Now, Kay was part of this friend group. She had a friend group. I think there was like 4 or 5 of them that were pretty close that hung out like all the time. Okay. And Kay had a best friend, Mary. Kay had a best friend, Mary. And they had been best friends. Mary was also from the same hometown that we were from. And they had been best friends since like 2nd grade or something like that. Okay. They'd been best friends like forever. So Kay and Mary were best friends, and Kay and Mary were both part of this group, this girl friend group. I think there was like 4 or 5 of them. One of the other girls from that friend group I also knew and spoke with occasionally, but we weren't what I would consider friends. Like, we weren't close, we weren't friends, but we were friendly acquaintances is how I would kind of label that relationship. And she, do I say that? Because if I say that, anybody that lives around here is probably going to know who she is. So let's just say she runs her own business that's similar to what I do. Okay. And so her and I have spoken a few times. We've been friendly, but we weren't like friends. Okay. Anyway, so me and Kay start to get closer. We start hanging out more. We start talking more. And Kay starts confiding in me about her best friend, Mary. That's what I said her name was, right? Mary. So Kay is telling me that Mary is lying to her. She tells me that Mary tried to steal some jewelry from her and then like deny it. She just has like some complaints about Mary. Okay. And so I told her, I said, listen, we're friends, Kay, and you are definitely allowed to express your feelings to me. You're definitely allowed to vent to me. But I just want you to know, I'm not going to say anything bad about Mary because I'm smarter than that. Because I know if I'm like, oh yeah, F Mary, blah, blah, blah. Well, you and Mary are always going to be cool. You guys have been friends since 2nd grade. It's going to be me. It's going to be me that's going to get drop kicked out. Right? So I never was on the bandwagon of like, oh, like I would let her vent, and then I would try to give her advice, and I'd be like, well, you guys need to talk about it. You need to work it out. Like, bring that up to her, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to be very supportive of her feelings, but yet, not get too involved, basically. So, but keep in mind that she would frequently vent to me about Mary, her best friend. Okay. So anyways, and And I do just want to say she wasn't like speaking horribly about her. And she would always be like, I love her so much. I've known her forever. But she would just kind of like tell me things that bothered her about Mary. Okay. So anyways, there I am saying, so anyways, so Kay and I started hanging out more. We started going to lunch together. We started doing things together. And I thought we were becoming pretty close. Now, every time I would see Kay, she would always say to me, always, oh my God, Brittany, I love you so much. I love you so much. You're so awesome. And I'm not exaggerating. You're so amazing. We are soul sisters. Like, we are kindred spirits. She would always be very nice to me and always say very nice things to me. And here's one thing about me. If you say it, I'm going to believe you. Like, don't say something you don't mean. So because of how she always spoke to me and because of the things she always said to me, I thought we were becoming like close friends. I thought we were close friends. So here's where this gets kind of juicy. Now remember, she is in the friend group with like the 4 or 5 other girls, including her best friend, Mary, and then the other girl that I am friendly acquaintances with that's in kind of the same industry as me, that has her own business in the same kind of world, right? So I'm talking to Kay on multiple occasions about this friend group she's in because they are always going and doing stuff together, and posting about it on Instagram. So I'm constantly seeing them all going and doing all these like really fun looking things together and like spending time together and just having a good time together. And I don't have that. I don't have a group of girlfriends that I go do stuff. I don't have any friends, but I don't have a group of girlfriends that I go do stuff with, like never. So I would mention to Kay pretty frequently that I would love to be invited sometime to these events that they're all going to. And I would tell her, I'd be like, you're so lucky that you like have these girls that you get invited to go do all this stuff and that you guys are always, you know, like having a good time together and going and doing these things together. And she's like, yeah, it is great, but like we really don't do that much together, which I thought was weird because constantly posting on Instagram about doing stuff together, like pretty frequently. So when she said that they don't really do that much stuff together, I was like, that's weird. Maybe this is just like an active season in their friend group where I've just been seeing a lot of stuff, you know, whatever. But I told her, nevertheless, I would just love to be invited sometime. And she didn't really like say anything. She kind of just like bulldozed over that statement. Like she wasn't like, oh no, you can't be invited. And then she wasn't like, oh yeah, definitely you're invited. Like it wasn't like that. She kind of just didn't really address it. Didn't really say anything. And I didn't want to make it like, you know, a whole huge thing. So I only brought it up a couple times, but I also did bring it up when I was having conversations with the friendly acquaintance girl. I had brought it up to her a couple times too. I'd been like, oh my gosh, it looks like you guys have so much fun. You do all this stuff together. I'd love to be invited sometime. And what's very strange is that she said kind of the same thing. She said, oh, I barely ever do anything. We barely ever do anything. Like you're just seeing whatever, like highlights on social media, but I don't ever really like do anything. And again, I thought that was weird because the frequency with which I was seeing things on Instagram didn't seem like they barely ever do anything. It seemed like they were doing something at least like a couple times a month, right? So they both kind of said the same thing to me. And I thought that that was weird because they were saying one thing, but I was seeing something else with my own ojos. And so I just felt like that was kind of strange. I just kind of like put it in the back of my mind, whatever. Okay. So, me and Kay have been friends for a while now. And every time I see her, she's very nice to me. She always says super sweet stuff to me. And okay, we're going to have to go to part 2, go to part 2 of Kay.